Okay, first off, I want to apologize to my subscribers. I'm late on getting this video out by a couple of days. I recorded it on Friday, but I didn't like how it came out. Aside from that, the whole point of this video is an apology to the rest of the country from me in Texas. Sorry about Ted Cruz. We just had our Texas primary, and Ted Cruz, once again, he easily cruised, no pun intended, well, okay, maybe pun intended, to the Republican Party nomination for another term as senator, and he got a whole lot more votes than who is going to be his Democratic challenger. Even though his Democratic challenger, Beto O'Rourke, outraised him in the last couple of months leading up to the primary, enough to move the race from safely Republican to likely Republican, for what that's worth. But we do have the Democrats do have a good candidate with Beto O'Rourke, and we'll give it the best shot we can. But here's why I want to apologize for Ted Cruz. I don't want to apologize to Ted Cruz. I just want to apologize, that he's a thing, that he's an issue, to have been foisted upon the national spotlight. It became very clear after the primary was over, and he knew 100% for sure who his primary opponent would be. The day after the primary happened, he released a brand new radio ad, and it was released online. And his radio ad was set to the tune of the country and western song by Alabama called "If You're Gonna Play in Texas," parentheses, you gotta have a fiddle in the band. Except this one was, "If you're gonna run in Texas, you can't be a liberal man," which goes back to my point from my last video of all that a conservative Republican in Texas has to do is say his opponent is liberal, and there you have it. Race is over. Because liberal is an insult out here. So here are some of my issues with the video, or not with the video, with that ad. The first thing he says is liberal Robert wanted to fit in, so he changed his name to Beto and did it with a grin. And before that, he says, if you're going to run in Texas, can't be a liberal man, something, 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 you got to stand behind your plans, which implies that if he's a liberal, he's not going to stand behind his plans. He's not going to mean what he says. He's not going to back up what he says. That's insulting, and also unfounded. Beto O'Rourke is a sitting congressman. You can pull up his record and see where he stands. But going on to the Beto name. Hi, guys. Going on to the Beto name. Liberal Robert wanted to fit in, so he changed his name to Beto and did it with a grin. Now, not only is that a bit of a slight on him, wanting to fit in, did it with a grin. Oh, no, he's smiling, only stabs you in the back kind of thing, right? That's what that implies. But he's really slamming Beto O'Rourke for using the name Beto instead of his full name of Robert. And his parents call him Beto. His parents called him Beto after he was born. What he says is he thinks it's just some kind of El Paso nickname for Robert. His parents call him Beto. There are pictures of him wearing a shirt that says Beto, B-E-T-O. And bear in mind, this criticism of using a nickname to run is coming from Rafael Edward Cruz, the guy who was born in Canada who wanted to give President Obama grief. Yeah. Now, the guy whose name is Rafael Edward Cruz is giving Robert O'Rourke grief for using Beto instead of Robert. So that's one thing. It's like, oh, come on now. Then it goes further into the verse, and the singer sings, he wants those open borders, and he wants to take our guns. There's no way he'll get a vote from millions of Texans. Number one, let's leave it alone that that's kind of a ham-fisted rhyme. Aside from that, he wants those open borders. Okay, from an absolute, extremely far-right conservative standpoint, You can make that argument. What Beto O'Rourke wants is to demilitarize the border. It's on his website. And if a citizen is, if not a citizen, if an illegal immigrant is following the letter of the law now that they're here because they came here to want a better life, then let's give them a path to being legal. I guess for far-right Republican, that means he wants open borders. Second half of that, and he wants to take our guns. Hey guys, he doesn't. Can we write this in the sky somewhere? There's no Democratic official that wants to take guns away from people. The only elected politician that I've heard that says he wants to take guns without due process is Donald Trump. Donald Trump saying, I think we take the guns first and do due process second. I like getting the guns early. Those are quotes of his, and I'm too lazy to edit my videos, but they're there. Look up Donald Trump, I like taking the guns early. You'll see it. You'll find the video. It's there. But again, it's this whole Democratic Party is the boogeyman myth that's perpetuated by the NRA, which Ted Cruz takes a lot of money from and has really good ratings from the NRA. And yet, here again, I don't know in the current political environment if having the help of the NRA is that big of a boost. When the state of Florida enacts a new law signed by the Republican governor of Florida, Tea Party governor, by the way, Rick Scott, that, yeah, we're going to go ahead and allow funding to arm teachers, which is what Trump wants, but we're also going to raise the age limit to buy a firearm to 21, and the NRA sues them immediately, the very next day. So, I don't know how good of an ally the NRA is going to be to these guys this time around. But if Beto O'Rourke wants to take your guns, what he wants to do is, have better background checks, more universal background checks, close the loopholes in background checks so that everybody who purchases a gun anywhere has to have a background check. And if they're flagged as mentally ill, they don't get to buy the gun. So the only people, and felons, and people who are domestic abusers, those are the only people whose guns that Beto O'Rourke wants to stop being able to get guns. He wants those people to stop being able to get guns. But Ted Cruz thinks that means he's coming for your guns. Well, if the only guns that are being prohibited are the ones that belong to are people who are mentally ill, felons, or domestic abusers, what does that say Ted Cruz thinks who his constituency is? I'll just throw that out there. Sorry for the late video this week. I'll keep it short because I'm going to have another one in a couple of days on Friday at the regular time. It's spring break. It's nice weather. Get to ride a lot. So, hey, see you later.